All right. Happy Tuesday, everybody. All right, beautiful people. It is Tuesday, February the 15th, 2022. Day number 32 of year 4 of reading through the books of the Law and the Prophets. Another 4-year consecutive day count, day 1050. Today, we start reading the complete Annunaki Bible. I was just sitting here thinking about this. I remember a couple years ago, I was joking on a couple people that's talking about the Annunaki. I'm like, man, y'all crazy. So I started looking into it. I was like, oh, now I know what it was talking about. Sitting here just thinking about that while I was writing it down and just laughing at myself. I'm like, boy, if I'd have knew then what I knew now, I would have never joked on them. And after we read a portion of that, we'll jump over into my big toe and pick up where we left off at yesterday in chapter 21. On page 156. It's page... Oh, I'm sorry. Chapter 22, 161. Linda, shalom, shalom. Trina, hey, girl, hey. Auntie, shalom, shalom. All right, beautiful people. So let's get rolling. Peace and blessings, Tiffany. Peace and blessings. Mom, shalom, shalom. Deuteronomy 6. All right, y'all. The Shema is in Deuteronomy chapter 6. A call for wholehearted commitment. These are the commands, decrees, and regulations that the Lord your God commanded me to teach you. You must obey them in the land you are about to enter and occupy, and you and your children and grandchildren must fear the Lord your God as long as you live. If you obey all his decrees and commands, you will enjoy a long life. Listen closely, Israel, and be careful to obey. Then all will go well with you, and you will have many children in the land flowing with milk and honey, just as the Lord, the God of your ancestors, promised you. Listen, O Israel, the Lord is our God, the Lord alone. And you must love the Lord your God with all your heart, all your soul, and all your strength. And you must commit yourselves wholeheartedly to these commands that I'm giving you today. Repeat them again and again to your children. Talk about them when you're at home and when you're on the road, when you're going to bed and when you're getting up. Tie them to your hands and wear them on your forehead as reminders. Write them on the doorposts of your house and on your gates. The Lord your God will soon bring you into the land that he swore to give to you when he made a vow to your ancestors, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. It is a land with large, prosperous cities that you did not build. The houses will be richly stocked with goods you did not produce. You will draw water from cisterns you did not dig, and you will eat from vineyards and olive trees that you did not plant. When you have eaten your fill in this land, be careful not to forget the Lord who rescued you from slavery in the land of Egypt. You must fear the Lord your God and serve him. When you take an oath, you must only use his name. You must not worship any of the gods of the neighboring nations, for the Lord your God, who lives among you, is a jealous God. His anger will flare up against you, and he will wipe you from the face of the earth. You must not test the Lord your God as you did when you complained at Massa. You must diligently obey the commands of the Lord your God, all the laws and decrees he has given you. Do what is right and good in the Lord's sight, so all will go well with you. Then you will enter and occupy the good land that the Lord swore to give to your ancestors. You will drive out all the enemies living in the land, just as the Lord said you would. In the future, your children will ask you, what is the meaning of these laws, decrees, and regulations that the Lord our God commanded us to obey? Then you must tell them, we were Pharaoh's slaves in Egypt, but the Lord brought us out of Egypt with his strong hand. The Lord did miraculous signs and wonders before our eyes, dealing terrifying blows against Egypt and Pharaoh and all his people. He brought us out of Egypt so he could give us this land he had sworn to give to our ancestors. And the Lord our God commanded us to obey all these decrees and to fear him so that he can continue to bless us and preserve our lives as he has done to this day. For we will be counted as righteous when we obey all the commands the Lord our God has given us. All right, y'all. Here we go. All right. The complete Annunaki Bible. All right. So what they did with this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. All the different editions, like the 60, actually, preface to the 6th, 5th, 4th, 3rd. Okay, they go in reverse order. All the way from the first edition all the way up to this one, the 6th edition, they put all the prefaces in the front. So it's going in the order of the most recent edition, starting with preface to 6th edition. I'm sorry. 10th anniversary preface, which was in December 18. Then it does the preface to the 6th edition, which is May 2014, all the way down to the first. Then after the first edition, they go into the introduction. It's the introduction to the Annunaki Bible Studies, the Annunaki Bible of Joshua Free, Toward a New Vision, Egypto-Babylonian Structure, First Steps Toward Gatekeeping, and the Magic of the Annunaki Bible. And that is the first 35 pages of this. So we're going to probably be in the preface and the intro for the next few days. And then we're actually going to get to the catalog of tablets. They call it the Marduk Tablet Catalog. And tablet A is the book of the Anunnaki and the Ijiji. So when we start there, we should be really familiar, because this, the Lost Book of Enki, gave us a good segue into everything, as this seems to be the beginnings of the account of the beginnings, right? Okay. According to the stories that have been given unto us. I'm going to say that. That's what we're going to say for this moment till we get through this. It's on the table, so we got to go through it before I start jumping other stuff. Okay. And all of those tablets go from A to Z. Yeah. All right, so let's start. We start on page 7. The complete Mardukai Anunnaki Bible, 10th anniversary. The Anunnaki Bible of Mesopotamia, Sumerians, Stargates of Babylon, the ancient alien gods, Ijiji, Watchers. Oh, wait a minute, hold on. Right, okay. Okay, so let me read that again. The Anunnaki Bible of Mesopotamia, Sumerians, Stargates of Babylon, the ancient alien gods. Then it has Ijiji, and in parentheses it has Watchers of the Old Testament, which we figured that out before we even got this. By listening to the descriptions, we realized that it was the Ijiji that the book of Enoch was talking about, the 200 angels that had fallen from heaven. It was the same 200. Matter of fact, they numbered them exactly the same 200. And what they said was almost word for word of what you'll find in the book of Enoch, right? They said, let's make this pact, go down here and get us some women, right? Genesis chapter 6, it was referring to the Ijiji who came down, right? Okay. Yeah, I was here. Y'all get it. Okay. The ancient alien gods, Ijiji, or Watchers of the Old Testament, religion, mythology, and magic of a long-lost, forgotten age, all of it preserved and presented in this much-anticipated 10th anniversary, revised and updated Infinity Edition of the complete Mardukite Anunnaki Bible. You got it?
Why it's not getting on?
Okay, because you got to plug it in. I unplugged it.
Ooh.
Okay. And when you plug it in, push the circle button that light up and press the cake.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Okay, press that button. Now, look. You see the cake?
Here?
Yep. No, just press it once, Pooh. There. Yep. Don't press it again. It's good. Okay. All right, leave it alone. As an author, editor, publisher, and long-standing personal fan of this work, I am so excited to present the definitive edition of this primary source book used by the Mardukite Chamberlains Mardukite Research Organization, as uncovered and developed during their first active year of work in 2009. The Mardukite Anunnaki Bible is quite simply a masterpiece of Mesopotamian magic, spirituality, and history, providing a complete collection a grand symphony of correlated materials of the most ancient writings on the planet. So if you're wondering if you haven't gotten it yet, it will get into some magical things in a couple of these tablets, which by the time I got here and got this, I was already familiar with some of the stuff that I come across while I'm being nosy and some of the occultic information. I'm like, oh, shoot. It's really interesting. Those things kind of get me hyped, right? Because, I don't know, you kind of drawn to things that the church tell you to stay away from, right? It's like I don't know, for some of us, it's like when they tell you to stay away from it, like, no, you can't have it. And even if you weren't thinking about it, you can go start looking, okay, well, why can't I have it? Let me just look at it, and then something gets your attention. It's like, wait, what? Wait, I've seen this before. You'll see when we get to it. Okay. The Marduk Annunaki Bible is quite simply a masterpiece of Mesopotamian magic, spirituality, and history, providing a complete collection, a grand symphony of correlated materials of the most ancient writings on the planet. The oldest Sumerian and Babylonian records reveal detailed accounts of cosmic history in the universe and on Earth, the development of human history, and descriptions of world order, all of which were used to maintain spiritual and physical control of humanity, proving to be the predecessor and foundation of global, scripture-based, religious, and mystical traditions thereafter. Let me go back. I'm going to read that again. Audrey, shalom, shalom. The oldest Sumerian and Babylonian records reveal detailed accounts of cosmic history in the universe and on Earth, the development of human history, and descriptions of world order, all of which were used to maintain spiritual and physical control of humanity, proving to be the predecessor and foundation of global, scripture-based, religious, and mystical traditions thereafter. We didn't figure that part out too, right? We realize that the Bible has been taken from some of this stuff, and they tell us it's complete authoritative word of God. No. Y'all pulled this from the Mardukite, ancient Sumerian text. That sound like blasphemy to some people. If you do, just stick around a little bit longer. Don't hate us just yet. Listen to what we're saying. We're still in the information gathering stages. These raw underground materials have shaped the existence of man's belief and traditions for thousands of years, right from the heart of the ancient Near East, Sumer, Babylon, and even Egypt. Nearly a decade since the modern Mardukite inception and thousands of copies in print, the Annunaki Bible is a revolutionary New Age advancement in authentic historical, spiritual, and mystical research drawn from a unique, unparalleled combination of archaeological findings and esoteric, mystical, magical traditions. And when we get to some of these magical traditions, I may share with you a couple of the magic books that I have come across. I've actually even ordered like a whole library, just to be nosy and look through stuff, right? It completely amazed me. And some of that, you got to be careful, because some of it, if you even, this might sound a little churchy-like, but I really found it to be true. So some of those things that they tell you in church, don't you read that, you're going to read a curse right into your soul. I wouldn't necessarily say you're reading a curse right into your soul, but that's when I began to realize the power of our minds, right? Because the particular ones I got, now before I even read any of the chapters where it was getting into the details, I made sure I read the preface. I looked up the author. I read about their life. I'm like, okay, let me make sure you ain't like, I want to make sure you seem level-headed, because the information you give me is either going to be level-headed and unbiased, or you're going to swing from one pendulum to the next. Yes. No, not yet, Pooh. Still got like 10 minutes. But wait till we get to 5. When they get to 5, I think you can pull it out, because it's only like 4 in there. So when I found out that the author was pretty level-headed from what I had researched, then I chose to go ahead and just, okay, when was this created? And I kind of flipped through, reading the chapters, read the front, read the back, and I glanced at some of the chapters. Just, my church feelings was kicking in. Make sure I ain't gonna read a curse into my soul. And so I just started kind of glancing over some things, and a few things caught my eye. And what I realized most about magic, y'all, they use Hebrew, right? They use the book of Psalms. They use the book of Proverbs. More so, you're going to see the magic being used with the book of Psalms. And that's what really, really, like, snatched me in. I'm like, how can they be performing magic with the very Bible that we have and we use, like, every day? And that's what really intrigued me. I'm like, how can this even be possible? Then I realized, I'm like, oh, shoot. For those who understand what the Bible is, the Bible in itself is pure magic, right? Which is why you will get some results from doing certain things when you use it. Even if it's like when we were younger, we found out that if we were scared, or mama teach us to pray the house out, if we're scared, we can read the 91st Psalm, and whatever nefarious spirit or demonic spirit that we felt was in there, it would literally cleanse the air, and it would happen immediately. We didn't know how it worked. We just knew it worked, and we figured this was the word of God, and it's just going to work, right? But just like we use it like that, church teach us to use it like that, the opposite side, those outside of the church that understand a little bit more of the mechanics of it, and some people on outside of the church, they don't, some of them, I say some of them, but some of them know a whole lot. Some of them may not necessarily understand the mechanics of how it works. They just know it works, and they use it religiously. They have no problem with taking a Bible, open it up to Psalms, to one of these chapters, and pull those magical words out, and it will work for them, right? So even with the book of Enoch, there's this book of Enochian magic. A lot of people have written, they've tried to translate the book of Enochian magic. Some of them are really hard to read, right? But this one particular author that I did a lot of research on, they literally have been doing this since like the 70s, right? Researching this and going through all these different things and breaking it down and doing different tests, kind of like what they did in My Big Toe with learning about how the mind works. And they just really they were really kind of like science heads trying to figure out why this worked the way it did. So they've actually gotten it to, from their experimentation to where, and I like them, and I probably will, once we get to it, I'll share it with you, simply because they've broken it down to its, I ain't gonna say the least common denominator, right? But they've removed all the spookiness and craziness out of it to where it's like, oh, that's what's happening, right? And they don't even add all of the extra stuff. So if you've looked into magic books, esoteric books and stuff like that, you will see people always gathering different supplies. We're gonna do candle magic, grabbing this. We need some hair from over here. We need this. Get some, some kind of herbs and all this stuff. You don't need any of that, right? Those are things when they don't necessarily really understand. Not saying that it won't work, because it will, depending on what you're doing. It'll work. But if you understand that you are the magic, you are the candle, you don't need any of those outside things. And that's what I like about them, because they remove, I was like, I ain't going to gather all the material. I was like, no, teach me what this is so I can know what in the world. Which author for the Annunaki Bible? Joshua Free. That might be backwards. I don't know. It looked backwards to me, but it might look forwards to y'all. But that's what it is. Can't see it? Okay, yeah. The Complete Annunaki Bible, Joshua Free. Yeah. You're welcome. So I'll share him once we get to those particular tablets, because you might get interested in go looking up stuff. Overstanding 777, peaceful greetings. Yahuwah is one. Yes, Spirit of Yahuwah, fill us with your presence and teach us your truth, so that we glorify you in everything we do. Yes, amen. But when we get to those particular ones, like I said, because you're gonna probably start getting curious and go looking up some stuff, I want to give you a good guide. Somebody that's not gonna lead you off the beaten path, or lead you off, I say, the proper path of information. It's a lot of good teachers out there. I've just taken a particular liking to this one because, like I said, not showing you how to do all of this with all this extra stuff. And it's actually, he breaks down the different scriptures and how it's used in there, because within the scriptures you can find they call it the divine name of God, right? Or the 72 letter name of God, all of that throughout this material. That's how I learned it. I went through, I started kind of calculating. I was like, oh shoot, that's why some of these passages work, right? If you don't know how it works, the divine creator's name, and it's multiple attributes of our creator, the creator of all, that's intertwined between the words of the book, right? That's like a whole nother level of understanding, which is why some people can read through the Bible and it's just like, oh, it was a good story, huh? It was a good read. I added to the list of books that I read. Some people read it and they get super spiritual. Some people read it, they get deep revelation. Some people read it and they completely only use it just for their magical work or whatever it is that they're doing. Because if they understand that, and as they grow, they'll realize, they'll begin to see it, right? So when we get to those particular chapters, like I said, I'll release that name to you. But I want y'all to stay focused. Y'all got to pay attention to some stuff. Some people may be ready for it. I know it's a couple people up here that already got it, but I know them already, and they kind of been moving along with me. So all right, just be patient. I'll get to you. All right, if you want it, it'll be there. It'll be a good guide, just in case you want to just look at it and see what's going on, right? All right. The Mardukite Annunaki Bible is quite simply a masterpiece of Mesopotamian magic, spirituality, and history, providing a complete collection, a grand symphony of correlated materials of the most ancient writings on the planet. Oh, I know I keep butting in saying stuff. And this is, okay, let me say this point. Okay, a lot of people may automatically go back to the scripture where in the Old Testament where it says, thou shalt not suffer a witch to live, right? They used to bug me so much. And I'm like, okay, Father, why? Okay, this says this, but I really feel like you keep leading me towards this stuff. And all this stuff is magical. And people get burned at the stake for this. We ain't supposed to be practicing magic. We ain't supposed to be doing nothing like that, right? But he was leading me to the stuff to look at it. He was like, I want to show you something. I was like, okay. I was like, yeah, because that really just kind of sticks out like a sore thumb right in the midst of everything. And boom, thou shalt not suffer a witch to live. That's a portion of scripture. You know how scripture has been tampered with. That's a portion that's just been plopped right in there, right? As a gatekeeper to keep those away. The ones who put it there wanted to keep away those who would use it and overthrow them out of power. Right? Not that they would use it in nefarious ways or understanding what's really going on. And think about, it's going to bring, once you begin to understand this, is going to bring in line a lot of the stuff we've heard about over the years about them talking about witchcraft. And if they found out you were doing it, they would burn you at the stake. Thou shalt not suffer a witch to live. All this stuff. It wasn't because of how we've been taught like it's evil. Right? But the people who were taking all of this magic for itself, matter of fact, even if you read through the legends of the Jews, it talks about magic that was given to all of humanity, all the human race. And it was, I believe it's 10 types of magic. And Egypt took 9 of those sources of magic for themselves. And the other 1% of magic is just kind of been scattered throughout the world, right? You get a little piece, you get a little piece. We're going to take these 9 parts and we're going to keep it to ourselves in secrecy. And that's how Egypt ruled for so long. And that's why a lot of the understanding and different things that come out of there is because of that particular thing right there. So we're going to clear up some misconceptions about magic and what it really is. Like I got this like mini bookcase with 1, 2, 3 shelves full of what somebody would call magic books, but I think they're really, really good. Really, really good. And I got like this one particular author, I purchased his whole library, which is 21 books. And I've read through a lot of them already. back to my comment earlier, but a lot of the stuff, if you understand the power of your mind, you can literally like think something and cause it to come into fruition, right? That's like the power of your mind, or people would say magic, but not really magic for real, but it's just how Yahuwah created us. Hard head. How did Egypt have more power than the Jews, though? That's a loaded question. Are you talking about the Hebrews, or are you talking about the Jewish people, like the converts? Because if you're talking about the Hebrews, we ain't really got into that yet, but they were really magical people. That's the part that they try to like blot out. They don't want you to see any of that, because if we got back to that and we really called on y'all, we did what the earlier generations of our people did, it will completely overthrow this nefarious government. I ain't even gonna say overnight, within hours. That's how strong I believe about that. Within hours, we could turn this government and we could turn it upside down, which is why they just threw that in there. Thou shalt not suffer a witch to live. And if they found you using some of these things, they would kill you immediately, right? Because it would overthrow them. And when we had it, we weren't doing what they were doing with it. We were ruling righteously with it. They take it and lord over man with it. And they want to continue to lord over man and the rule in every nation of people. We would literally take it and turn the world right side back up. That's why they don't want us to have it. That's why it's coming out at this time. And I'm like, yo, everybody's pulling this stuff out. I see quite a few channels now. They bringing out this stuff. They sharing all of these things that we would consider magic book. I'm like, yo, I knew I wasn't tripping. I can start being a little more bold and sharing some stuff now. I was like, is this the time yet? Because I know for the last year or so, me and my sister specifically, we've been looking at this stuff, and we were like, okay, so this, well, that's about right, because this, and we turn around and we look at stuff, and they put it all in your face through the movies and everything. Now, granted, it's some entertainment type stuff in there, but if you understand like the underlying principles of what's really going on, like even the spells that they have the church in, it's magic. It's spells that they have you under to keep you in a certain state where you cannot see what's really going on in front of your face. Like literally, it's being done right in the open. But because of the spell that they're under, or most of the people are under, they can't see it. And we're here to break the spell. Okay. Maybe that answered your question, hard head. Maybe it didn't. You'll see. All right. The oldest Sumerian and Babylonian records reveal detailed accounts of cosmic history in the universe and on Earth, the development of human history, and descriptions of world order, all of which were used to maintain spiritual and physical control of humanity, proving to be the predecessor and foundation of global scripture-based religious and mystical traditions thereafter. These raw underground materials have shaped the existence of man's belief and traditions for thousands of years. Right from the heart of the ancient Near East, Sumer, Babylon, and even Egypt, nearly a decade since the modern Mardukite inception and thousands of copies in print. The Annunaki Bible is a revolutionary New Age advancement in authentic, historical, spiritual, and mystical research drawn from a unique, unparalleled combination of archaeological findings and esoteric, mystical, magical traditions. Sumerian, Babylonian, Akkadian, Assyrian, Chaldean, Egyptian, Yazidi, Zoroastrian, and more. The heart and soul of humanity, from the cradle of civilization, is laid out clearly for the truth seeker to see in its pure and undefiled state. A wellspring of hidden information and historical research, cuneiform tablet transliterations and translations, and mystical and spiritual experimentation may all be found within the leaves of this new anniversary edition of the underground best-selling classic Mardukite Annunaki Bible. newly revised prefaces, and tablet instructions guide the truth seeker through a beautiful presentation of the ancient mystery tradition accessible to anyone with any background. You will discover the original secrets of Hermetic tradition, the books of the dead, and the underworld mysteries, the origins of the books of Genesis and Enoch. Now, just in case that might have scared you just a little bit, yeah, Trina, like Moonfall. Just in case the Book of the Dead, me reading at the Book of the Dead, that scare you, let me tell you, there's a book called the Egyptian Book of the Dead. That is a misnomer. It should not be called that. Matter of fact, that is not its original name. That was the scare label that they put on that. The real title of that book, the Egyptian Book of the Dead, some of you may have heard of it, some of you may have come across it, some of you may have wondered, but were too scared because of the name, right? It's a gatekeeper. The Egyptian Book of the Dead, the real name of that book is The Coming Forth by Day. And that book, it's the book of life. Yo, it is the complete opposite of the title that they put on it, right? And that's why I first learned about this body and how they call this body, the flesh, the mummy, right? And that's why I learned when I first read it, I didn't really understand it until I had that experience the other night when I realized, when it really clicked in for me. Like I heard, okay, yeah, you're a spirit just having a human experience. I'm like, yeah, blah, 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 crap, whatever. You are not your body. What do you mean? That didn't really click, but I had already, look, I ordered the book, right? I got it upstairs. It's on my book, on my little bookshelf. It's a big, actually they have two different versions. Well, I have two different versions of it, right? And it's beautiful. It's colorful, the hieroglyphs and everything, but it's a big book, right? Probably about this. Okay, if you can see my hands. Okay, so let's do it this way. Okay, so lengthwise, if I was to turn the book sideways, okay, if I was to turn it sideways, if I put it up against this is like a regular size book. The Book of the Dead, let me turn it sideways. It's like, say this is the bottom. It comes like all the way to here, right? And it's probably about the same. No, it's probably a little bit wider, right? But they also have like a regular size version, which is still a little bit bigger than this, but it's just like a bigger square. And the smaller one is a little thicker because it gives you more information. The bigger one, it has both of them are real colorful. But it teaches you about what your body is, right? And how the Egyptians taught it, which I think is pretty accurate, because when I read it, I was like, oh, so our body is a mummy, and it teaches you that you need to wake your mummy up to get it in line with your spirit that's living inside of. Just like I just always look at our bodies like vehicles. Us, the humans, getting inside the vehicles to wake it up. It don't move unless we get inside of it. Same thing with these mummies, with this flesh. It doesn't move. It's not activated until our spirit gets in it and activated. It animates it. And I read that, and I was like, okay, that's pretty cool, but it didn't really sink in until like a few months later, until I had this experience that I had a couple weeks ago where I was like trapped inside my body, and I knew I was 100% conscious, woke, seeing everything that was going on and everything. When I came out of it and I got done going off on my husband, I just began to think about it. Over the next couple of days, I started thinking about that section in the Egyptian Book of the Dead where it was talking about the body and how you have to wake it up, how you have to feed it, like life-giving foods. And there are certain words that you speak to help wake up the different levels of your spirit. And when different levels of your spirit are awakened, different levels of your flesh, it'll be like your eyes. It's like your eyes are open to it. It's really good. I recommend, if you want to. I think it was one of them. I know I paid like $60 for. The other one I think was maybe like $30. I'm not telling you to get it, but at least go look at it. I think it might have like a couple previews, some of the chapters or whatever. But I think it's really good. I haven't gone all the way through it, but there's definitely some stuff in there that I've seen in some Jewish books that I've read, like Jewish books, and even some things from the scriptures, right? They have like the original papyrus of Annie in there. It's just like a lot of stuff, but it really makes sense. I'm like, none of this stuff is like horrible, like what we would get, like the church tells us. I'm like, this would be very helpful for the church. Like this would, I think, like if you're gonna still hold a church and everything, I think you need all of these resources. Bring it in so you have a more full understanding of what in the world is going on. The movie John Smith. The movie John Smith. No, Trina. He said that. Do you remember the movie John Smith? That's what I'm reminded of right now. I don't know. I'm gonna have to go look that up. John Smith. John Smith movie. Okay, I'm gonna have to look it up and go watch it. See what you're talking about. Okay, but before I realized that the name was a misnomer, and it actually explains that to you in the preface and the introduction of the book and how it came about and what's actually included in there. When I got that, I was being drawn to it. I added it to my Amazon cart. And then the next day I took it out, because I'd be kind of scary sometimes. I'm like, hey, I ain't bringing no books in here. Then it's like, get the book. So I added back to my Amazon cart, and then I ordered it. A few hours later, I canceled the order. I was like, no, I am not bringing the Book of the Dead into this house. Like, y'all should have seen me for like 2 weeks. I went back and forth in my Amazon cart debating whether I was going to purchase this book or not, right? But I kept feeling the nudging from y'all, girl, get the book. Get the book. I'm like, okay, I'm going to get it. And when it came in, I'm like, oh, it's here. I took the box, took it in the living room, and I set it up on the shelf. I'm like, okay, Father, look. And y'all should have seen me. I was like, girl, you're so stupid. I'm like, okay, whatever's in this book, keep it quarantined. I really feel like you told me to get it. I said, but I don't need no spirits hopping out of this book in my house causing no craziness to go on. I said, so show me what you need to show me, and then I'm going to throw it away. I'm like, as I started reading through the preface and everything, I just started laughing at myself. I was like, boy, the church done did a real good job on me. Still trying to break myself from some of that religious craziness stuff where you're too scared just to even open the book to see what's in there. But some of them, though, they really do come alive. Hence my story the other day. So that's why I'm super careful. But ain't no craziness happen. And a lot of the Egyptian books that I have and the hieroglyphs, nothing's crazy has happened since I've bought those here. It's chock full of information. It's absolutely amazing. Anything you can get by Muwatma Ashby, Muwatma, I'll leave him up there. Anything you get by him from ancient Egypt, he goes in and he shares a lot of this stuff. Anything by him is good. I got half of his library. All right, so we already 37 minutes. I ain't even got past the first page of here, but I just wanted to share that. Okay. The heart and soul of humanity from the cradle of civilization is laid out clearly for the truth seeker to see in its pure and undefiled state. A wellspring of hidden information and historical research, cuneiform transliterations and translations, and mythical and spiritual experimentation may all be found within the leaves of this new anniversary edition of the underground best-selling classic Mardukite Annunaki Bible. I read all this. Let me hop back down. I thought I didn't get this far. Okay. You will discover the original secrets of Hermetic tradition, the books of the dead and underworld mysteries, the origins of the books of Genesis and Enoch. You will, if you dare, unlock the forgotten and forbidden power of the Anunnaki Babylonian stargates, lore that predates and is a basis of Hebrew Kabbalah. It's a basis. When I found it out, I'm like, yo, how are they using this? Like when you get in there, it's gonna be like, what? This belongs to us? And I'm telling y'all, it's just gonna get you fiery hot mad when you realize the stuff that they've stolen from you when they said it's magic, leave it alone. It belongs to you. It's our inheritance. Let's get it. Let's go. Me and my sister, we've been kind of looking at some of this stuff, and some of this stuff really works. It absolutely really, really works. You get super excited about it. I don't know. I'm getting so excited. I might share with y'all some of this stuff before we even get to the tablets. Okay. You will, if you dare, unlock the forgotten and forbidden power of the Anunnaki Babylonian stargates, lore that predates and is a basis of Hebrew Kabbalah mysticism, from which much of the Western magical tradition is rooted. Yo, hardhead. Yo, I went looking. There's one that I wanted. I put I didn't even put it in my cart just for fear that my kids might hit checkout purchase by mistake. It was one I was looking for, and they have it in Russia, right? It's going to come from Russia. One of these books that have some of this magic stuff in it and some of the details. I was like, oh boy, I got to get this book. And I was Googling it, trying to find it. On Amazon, it is $4,000. It's a little over $4,000. I was like, whatever is in this book, we need. Ain't nowhere in the world they didn't jack this price up like this. They try to put it out of reach of those of us who really, it's ours. By inheritance rights, it's ours, right? But they put it out of reach of, they just jack up the price. Any book that you go looking for and the price is dumb high, I ain't gonna say you need to go get it, but you best believe 100% out of 100%, there's something in there they don't want you to see. And here's the main reason why. A lot of the stuff that they have their hands on, they're only able to use it up to a certain point, right? They're only, depending on who's using it, they're only able to use it up to a certain point. But those, if it's your inheritance, if it belongs to you, it's like, that's when me and my sister, we found, I was like, oh shoot, we got to be careful, because we realized, and I bought out the, when you watch movies that have like magic and stuff in it, and you see them drawing pentagrams on the ground, and then they always draw a circle, that circle represents protection, and they get inside of that circle of protection. When you see them doing that, that means you are an unauthorized user of what this is that you're about to do, because the authorized ones don't need to use a circle, right? We are the magic, right? And it just works for us, but it's been completely taken away from us. They don't tell you about it, but there are some things that they can't even use, and they don't want you to have it. And if it's out there in print, they jack the prices sky high so you can't get it, right? Or they think those that you can't get it. But I was like, I'm gonna find a way. Look, I came across that book. It was about 3 days ago, Hardhead. I was like, I gotta get this book. I'm like, I don't know when that price gonna come down. Maybe I'm looking through thrift store sites online looking for this book. But on Amazon, it's a little over $4,000. I was like, this is ridiculous.
You better not buy that book.
No, that's what I said.
I better not see how much come out my car. I'm dead serious.
I'm just telling them about the book. But so if you go and you look on, like, there are some sites like Aid Books, or even if you go to eBay, you will find some of these books, but I haven't. If they had the audio, they even scared to read that audio out loud.
But you don't even know they got it. Look it up and see. It might.
I already did. All my searches so far, I cannot get this book. You know, I ain't gonna say I ain't gonna get it, but no, yeah. I won't be. Okay. But I'm gonna get this book. Somebody, it's always somebody that be like, you know what, I'm sick of y'all. I'm gonna leak this somewhere, and it's always somebody that gets a PDF or something and it's leaked online. So that's why I'm searching through stuff. I'm trying to find it. I don't remember the exact title. I'll put the title of it up here when we're done. I'm gonna go pull it up. But it is $4,000. I'm like, this is crazy, right? And inside of it, you see some previews of it. And it's black people in Russia, right, that were using it. They got pictures of it. I'm like, yo, what? So, okay, I get super excited. But yes, Hardhead, I've heard about it. I've been searching, trying to find a cheaper version of it. When I find it, I'll share it with y'all. I'm gonna see if I can screenshot or like download. Oh yeah, Amazon. Yeah, I can just like share the Amazon link and it'll show you. And you can see the price. Y'all see, we are not tripping. This is what they said. I was like, how is Amazon even letting this fly like this? I'm like, all y'all Regents and cahoots together. Okay. Join thousands of others and take a self-honest moment in life now to invest yourself in the path of true knowledge, where you may find the empowerment and enlightenment of true experience, true gnosis. Also, there is another small little series, and it's just one season. Oh my gosh, I forgot the name of it, but I can see the picture. You know the girl that played in Eve's Bayou, the light-skinned girl. She also played in Yes, she also played in Roll Bounce. The girl that was skating with him that couldn't skate at first. She had all tore up skates. I forget her name. She plays in it. and this new guy. Oh my gosh, I see his face. I'm gonna have to look it up. I want Leisha. I know she be popping in and out because she be at work. It's a small series and it's on Netflix. Inside of that series, y'all gotta go watch it. Now, there is a couple sexual scenes in it. I forget which episode it is, but matter of fact, if I remember correctly, there's two sexual scenes. The first one, it's like real quick, but it catch you off guard, like what, and you don't really see anything. You could just tell that they were doing something. But the second one is pretty kind of open. It's like, okay, just turn your head for a second, What, Leisha? Okay, what was that series? Remember the girl, the light skinned girl from Eve's Bayou and Roll Bounce, and that black guy? He went off to war, but he came back and they purchased the house. And they started finding out that first of all, they thought the house was haunted, but they realized it was like ancestors from previous time. They were having flashback about different ancestors. Yes, the one in the house. Y'all got to go watch this. Joy, Shalom, Journey, Small. Is that the name? Is that? I think that might be her name. I think that's her name. Yeah. Journey, how you say the last name? Smollett, her. And what is that guy's name? Sign language of the soul, 49:6. That's crazy. Three sister. Was it three sisters in? Okay, so yeah, because they had it was this house. Oh my gosh, what is the name of that? But anyway, inside of that, when you listen, when you go through, you're gonna realize that they are. And by this, before I saw this, me and my sister had already started figuring out some of this stuff, right? So when that series came out, I was like, we got to watch this, but we didn't realize how much truth that they were actually putting in that. Y'all have to go watch it. Just be mindful. It's a couple of different sexual scenes, about two, so be prepared for those. And it don't last that long. It's just like a couple seconds. You can just turn away for a couple seconds or whatever. Make sure you send the kids out the room. But in there, when they get to this house, there was a bunch of things happening they couldn't explain, but it was hidden magic that was being used. And then, yes, LoveCraft Country. Write that down. LoveCraft Country. Go watch it. If you got time to binge watch it, you may not be able to do it till the weekend, but if you sit there and watch that, you get through it. They are boldly putting out there, only for those that can recognize it, some real things. And then there was one section in there that really got my attention when he found out that his dad was alive, and he found out he was the heir of this let's just say this magical kingdom, and his dad, it was one thing that his dad said that when he said it in a movie, it just like shook me. He said, "What, you want them to know that we got magic too?" And I'm like, what? Like when he said it, just because I had to rewind it, I was like, let me start this all the way over. And I started to watch. I was like, yo, that's why these things was happening for him. And he didn't realize that it was literally a part of him. He was literally the heir of this whole magical kingdom, and all these things was available. But everything they was doing, they were trying to do all these different magic spells and get to these levels. Make sure I'm explaining this the right way. But there were certain ones that couldn't be done unless the heir was there. So they was trying to trick him into, giving up his rightful ownership to everything that belonged to him. Right. But when he really began to notice what was going on, he was like, I ain't giving up nothing. So I'm just like, yeah. That's how I feel right now when I'm realizing some of this stuff. I'm like, yeah, this is why you keep pushing me towards this. He's like, girl, just take a look at it. Right? I'm like, yo, it's getting so much exciting. So much more exciting. Guys, and I ain't finished reading this first little page and a half. Okay. Look, y'all go. LoveCraft Country. That's your homework. Go watch that. Go watch it. Okay. Join thousands of others and take a self-honest moment in life now to invest yourself in the path of true knowledge, where you may find the empowerment and enlightenment of true experience, true gnosis. And I believe it also helps with you understanding what we really are, how we are literally spirits inside of bodies. And if you doing like the meditation or meditating, going through the gateway process, these are different drop my pen. These are different pieces of a bigger puzzle that have been scattered to different nations, and different people are more proficient in using certain types of things that belongs to the family. And they's like, oh, this belongs to us, and people are like, oh no, that's Egyptian stuff. I'm like, no, that belongs to you. They just got a piece of your inheritance. Go get it back, right? So you will see, you as you begin to do everything that you're learning, take everything along with you and learn how to do everything simultaneously. I'm telling y'all, it's going to make for a much more fulfilling spiritual experience, and your growth is going to shoot through the roof. It's going to blow your mind. Accompanying prefaces chronicle the evolution of the Mardukite Annunaki Bible since the modern Mardukite inception in 2008. Added cumulatively, I know how to say that word, cumulatively, that ain't how you say that word, added cumulat, that still sound wrong, I'm gonna just keep going, added cumulatively through successive editions, they progressively introduce the legacy of these materials. All of these introductory essays and those following them are meant to properly prepare and draw the truth seeker or reader in. They should all be read through at least once before delving into the greater mysteries and close. These and other sections attached to each tablet series have been newly revised to provide a coherent, concise, and understandable presentation of one of the most revolutionary books to ever exist. Enjoy everything in this 10th anniversary edition. Enjoy everything this 10th anniversary edition has to offer, dear friend. Stay safe, sane, and blessed on your path forever and always. Joshua Free, Nabu Mayor Dekai, presiding. New Babylon Marduk Research Offices, San Luis, Rocky Mountains, Colorado, Ewell, December 2018. All right. That was the 10th anniversary edition. Now this is the preface to the 6th edition. Yes.
Can I keep starting it? I'm boggles down now.
What's in there? What are you trying to heat up? What? Oh, okay. Close it. Now press 30 seconds.
It's gonna keep going off on and off.
Okay, now it's run through. Press 30. Go all the way down. Right there. Yep. Press that. No, stop. Hold on. You just press some buttons and rapid succession, huh? That's it. Leave it there. Let it do that. Grab my pen since I done got up. Okay. All right, y'all. Of the many literary projects that I have been blessed to be a part of in this new age, it is the Necronomicon Anunnaki Bible that seems to stand apart as a cornerstone of not only my own professional career in the book world, but also the single most paramount and certainly most widely circulated of all materials developed by the Mardukite Research Organization. Joy Fox, shalom, shalom. When the project was still young, it seemed that it was constantly being reevaluated and revised until reaching a preliminary point of stasis as the 4th edition in 2010. This lasted for about 2 years until early 2012, when Book of Marduk by Nabu Tablet W Materials released in mid-2010 and additional tablet epics. What?
Let's get started. I just want to watch something.
Is it dead? You gotta go plug it in, Pooh. Hold on. This lasted for 2 years until early 2012 when Book of Marduk by Nabu Tablet W Materials released in mid-2010 and additional tablet epics from Liber C released as both Necronomicon Spellbook 3 and Beyond the Ishtar Gate in 2011 were inserted into the 5th edition of the Bible as the Tablet U and Tablet V series. Finally, the entire Maklu translation from Liber M is Liber if you don't have the book, Liber and the letter M. Finally, the entire Maklu translation from Liber M released in 2011 as
And you can hold me.
Let me read that sentence again. Finally, the entire Maklu translation from Liber M, released in 2011 as Necronomicon Spellbook 2 or Maklu Magic, now resolve pre-existing issues with the Tablet M series. With the research cycle completed and a catalog represented by a full alphabet, as it were, it seemed we had perhaps finally reached our magnum opus. So, why a 6th edition? 2 key elements have changed for this edition.
Video right there.
Yes. 2 key elements have changed for this edition as agreed upon by the Mardukite Chamberlain's Council of Nabu Tutu that presides over the Mardukite Truth Seeker Press. Firstly, the Serosa tablets that once occupied the tablet S position in the Necronomicon Annunaki Bible and the Mardukite catalog have been added to the only other complementary Zoroastrian tablets in the volume as the Tablet C cycle, now called the Book of Zoroastria. The logic of this allows us to not only free up the Tablet S designation for another purpose, but also compiles all similar Zoroastrian examples together as a concluding appendix, something equally logical for the fact that they are later Persian examples and not actually Babylonian liturgy. Secondly, the Tablet S designation is now called the Book of Sajaha, the Seer, and is an incorporation of the most recent research material published by the Mardukite Research Organization in late 2013 as Sumerian Wisdom and Anunnaki Prophecies, and later known as the Lost Book of Shehaya. Better turn it down a little bit. The work marked the first new contribution to the Mardukite Library since Secrets of Sumerian Language in May 2012. These changes only add consistency and completeness to the work.
No, I cannot hear it.
Then you will need to go through there.
Mom, you can still hear it through there.
I'll be able to hear it a little less through there. Smarty pants. Having noted these updates, I will quickly digress, as there are more interesting prefaces and bountiful introductions awaiting you herein. I strongly encourage you to read through them carefully as a preparation what has become a superior volume collecting the most ancient literary records on the planet. Don't play with me. I'm going to turn it all the way off. Turn it back down. Thank you. That being said, you are here now in the 21st century hoping to glean their truths, and this is by no means a simple task. It requires a certain perspective or paradigm to have real value and meaning. This is not something that a 21st century mind has been naturally cultured and encouraged to work with. Publications of this nature are being read by those without initiation or personal coaching or assistance on the pathway of the great mysteries. Hence, I say again, read through the prefaces and introductions so that you may find the most on your journey through the rest, and may it be a most blessed and illuminating journey. Nabu Joshua Free, Rocky Mountain Satellite Office, Beltane, May 2014. And so we're going to pause right here on this part of the prefaces because we already an hour, y'all. I didn't talk way too much and we ain't even got to my big toe. So we're going to read a couple pages of that. So we'll pick this back up with the preface to the 5th edition tomorrow, right? And I'll keep my stories to a minimum so we can at least get through the prefaces and at least start the introduction. Have y'all ever, yes, Joy, have y'all ever seen the series Them on Netflix? What was the real concept of the movie? I think if you go back in some of my videos, I think it was probably 2 videos that I did back to back. Matter of fact, I think the title Them is actually in my title. Like put in my channel name and put in Them movie series or something like that. And it should pop up. We spent a great deal of time talking about that. All right, y'all. Chapter 22, My Big Toe, The Right Attitude. Look. Yes, you did. Oh, we'll get through all of chapter 22 because it's literally 2 pages.
August 21st.
Yes, get them. And you know, Black Violin gonna be here on the 22nd.
Who you just saying?
Black, it's called the 2 black guys playing the violin. They're gonna be at the Chrysler Hall.
There's 2 black guys playing the violin.
You will see it. The guys that's real good playing the violin. They do concerts. I'll show it to you.
I know the girl who. What's her
No,
name?
not her. No, not her. It's 2 black guys. That's what they call their group, Black Violin.
Oh.
They're the bomb. They're gonna be here at Chrysler Hall. No, Hampton Coliseum. I'm sorry, the 22nd. I'll show it to you.
Guys playing the violin gonna be at camp at the Coliseum. Are you serious?
Google it. Google Black Violin Group.
I don't even want to, but look, I just seen that. This is we focusing on this right here.
Yeah, we'll go to that.
August 21st.
Yeah, book it, babe. Okay. The Right Attitude.
You know, I'm starting to February. To Wednesday. Tomorrow.
Oh, okay. We'll log back in. Okay. The Right Attitude. And if you got a few minutes, I'll share. Let me read through this. Okay. The Right Attitude. Chapter 22, page 161 of My Big Toe. Bella, turn it down some more. Significant personal benefit can be gained simply by developing an explorer's attitude. You must be courageous and open-minded enough to contemplate the unknown and then step into it. Experience it to find out for yourself. There is no other way. Your experience, your time, your effort, and your mind compose your only doorway to an understanding that is not belief-based. A belief-based understanding is only slightly better than no understanding and at all if and only if what you believe turns out serendipitously to be true. Do you think the correct belief system can get you to the finish line without running the race? Unfortunately, it cannot, even if your belief turns out to be true. Some people believe that they do not have the time, energy, or ability to gain consciousness quality on their own. They think that if they find the right religion, organization, book, teacher, guru, or advisor, they can minimize the effort required to develop their personal experience of big truth because the teacher will explain what is true and they will simply believe it. Do you think this strategy will work? No, it cannot. You cannot believe your way into consciousness quality any more than you can believe your way into being a master violinist. Hey, look, we gotta go see the.
Damn, that is not a sign.
It's a sign.
Look at everything as a sign, dude. Everything ain't a sign.
I was joking with you.
No, you for real.
Yeah, I'm for real though, because I really like that group.
2 black violins.
Babe, look it up. Look up black violin.
It's only 2 though.
It's
it ain't
2,
3 or 4.
No, it would mess up the flow that they got going on. Just look
Probably
at
the only 2 fools in there.
Well, let us be in there, me and you together. He just rolled his eyes at me, y'all. Okay. No, seriously, look it up. I can't believe you haven't seen them.
Where?
Okay.
Where would you see them at?
They be on Facebook and Instagram all the time. They showing little clips and stuff. Okay. How can you do that? Hold on. Let me go back up. You cannot believe your way into consciousness quality any more than you can believe your way into being a master violinist, sumo wrestler, or the president of your country. There is yet another problem. You obviously must choose whom to believe very wisely. How can you do that without great wisdom of your own? Though knowledge can be passed from person to person, wisdom is derived only through your personal experience and is non-transferable from others. You need to be wise to choose the belief system that can make you appear to be wise, so that you do not have to earn wisdom through experience and actually become wise. There are no shortcuts. You must develop the quality of your being through your personal experience, attaining wisdom, choosing paths to spiritual growth, improving the quality of consciousness, discerning pseudo-knowledge from actual knowledge, and discriminating good teachers from bad teachers will all be discussed in more depth in chapters 13 and 14 of Book 2. Your beliefs, cultural, religious, personal, or scientific, are for the most part not relevant to the quality of your consciousness. You're just as bad as your daughter.
I am my daughter. Ain't we the same? Yeah, you know.
Your beliefs, cultural, religious, personal, or scientific, are for the most part not relevant to the quality of your consciousness, except that they may retard it by limiting what your mind can think. Evolution is not a matter of passing an exam. It is a matter of how you are, the quality of your being, not what you believe. Beliefs don't often, if ever, translate into quality of being. They are only about using pseudo-knowledge to fill in for unavailable or difficult to obtain real knowledge. You can talk about becoming a high-quality, wise person with the right attitude, know about it, and believe anything you want about it for free, but you can't become it without paying the price. Extensive, diligent experience generated from rigorous, dedicated effort. That is true of a pro football player, a brain surgeon, a nuclear physicist, a master carpenter, a sumo wrestler, or a concert violinist, as well as a spiritually evolved being.
We'll go. I mean, it's the 20th. If you want to go see it, come on. Let's go. We don't only. It said all tickets available. So. I'm joking. I'm joking.
Oh.
I mean, you want to go on the 20th?
What problem do you have with me this morning? No pain, no gain. That's actually the last sentence. Okay. No pain, no gain. There is no free lunch. You either pay the price or forego the benefits. Because the benefit is the growth and evolution of your consciousness. Foregoing it would not be a wise choice. Why? Who cares? What is the cost of an opportunity lost? We will discuss that later. Let me for now say that the costs are severe and once incurred cannot be sidestepped, but its effects are reversible. The costs should not be construed as a punishment. They are merely the logical result of not evolving. And there's 2 small paragraphs and then this whole chapter is done. For those who are wondering what evolution, belief traps, and consciousness quality could possibly have to do with deriving a more comprehensive physics, be patient and the connections will eventually become clear. First, we must develop the conceptual landscape more broadly and in more detail before physical matter reality physics can logically be birthed from a more general level of causality. Remember, physical matter reality is us here in the flesh, right? Non-physical matter reality is what we would call the spirit world. I do not want to leave anyone with the impression that spiritual growth, improving the quality and thus decreasing the entropy of your consciousness is like working in a salt mine. Besides being useful, spiritual growth is also thrilling, interesting, rewarding, fun, and joyful. Once begun, it is so exciting an adventure that you will gladly want to put more of your time and energy toward it. It is also practical. Increasing the quality of your consciousness immediately increases the quality of your life. Y'all, I'm telling you, this is so good. And that is the end of chapter 20. It was literally 2 pages, or you might as well say a page and a half, right? So we're going to start chapter 23 tomorrow. Who you going to call? Ghostbusters. All right, y'all. So I hope y'all enjoyed the reading for today. We read the first few pages of the complete Annunaki Bible and all of chapter 22 of My Big Toe. It is Tuesday, y'all. February 15, 2022. Day number 32 of year 4 of reading through the books of the Law and the Prophets and the 4-year consecutive day count. Day 1050. All right, y'all. Anybody else do any more meditation? They go on with the ways or anything? Maybe, maybe not. Gil said that's why many in the church are not awake. They listen and believe. Yeah, but they don't do any kind of experiencing or nothing on their own. They just take it and just go. And they don't develop. That's why most of them stay stunted and babies. And they just, you know, I ain't going to get on it. I'm going to be nice. I'm going to be nice, Gil. Okay. Tootie, you ready to do the blessing?
Mm-hmm.
Come on.
Peace, all Heggeries.
Oh, where did you got this from?
On my dresser?
No, it wasn't that truck.
Maybe. No, I took it off my dresser.
Hold up. That's
Did you
mine.
have one?
Yeah,
It probably is. It was on the dresser.
Yeah.
Mine, I saw on the floor in the
have
hallway.
You didn't have chair. You had regular.
Okay. All right, y'all. The blessing is found in Numbers chapter 6, verses 22 through 27. And Yahuwah spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto Aaron and unto his sons, saying, On this wise you shall bless the children of Israel, saying unto them, Yahuwah will kneel before us, presenting gifts, and will guard us with the hedge of protection. Yahuwah will illuminate the wholeness of his being towards us, bringing order, and he will provide us with love, sustenance, and friendship. Yahuwah will lift up his wholeness of being and look upon us, and he will set in place all we need to be whole and complete. And they shall put my name upon the children of Israel, and I will bless them. All right, beautiful people. You're welcome. Shalom, Mariah. Shalom, shalom. All right, beautiful people. I love y'all. I'll see y'all back here tomorrow morning. Oh, wait. Hold on. Wait. Pause. We won't be here tomorrow. We're observing the Sabbath. Wait, so I see y'all back here Thursday morning, 7:15 a.m. Eastern Standard Time.